Hi, my name is Shabazz and I'm one of the co-founders of Sunain. So, the video you're watching today, we're gonna so it's going to be separated into three parts. The first part is going to be frequently asked questions. So this is the part where I'm gonna answer all of your questions, like what we are, what do we do, and why we do it. The second part is going to be about how to sign up on the platform and the things you would be asked. The third part is going to be about how to navigate through the platform. So, to get started, what is Sunain? We basically pay people to have natural and high quality audio conversations on very different topics. So, let's say the sports, movies, or the things you like. And you might be wondering, why do we pay people to speak? So, we are trying to create high quality audio data sets. These datasets basically help build the next generation of speech models. So think of ChatGPT, Gemini, or Grok. So what this means for you? So if you record high quality audio with a good mic and with no background noise, you will be paid for every conversation that you make. We have a human review that reviews every single call. So you will get a score for, let's say, your audio and the background noise you have. Or even if you talk about inappropriate things, your score would drop really low. So, what does a good conversation look like? So, for each call, both participants should be actively engaged. That means you're asking follow up questions, or you're laughing, or even showing other authentic emotions. So, let's say, yes. Oh, makes sense. Wow. So, the whole goal here is to create a lively, very natural discussion. So this shouldn't be filled with spaces with repeated reactions. So let's say if you're saying after every 3 seconds or after every sentence the other person speaks, that is not a good conversation. So as a general guideline, we advise people that they should be doing anything like following up question or laughing or even saying or showing other emotions. They should follow a general rule of thumb, which is 6 seconds. So if I'm asked what is my name, and I tell it the answer, so I should wait at least 6 seconds for them to answer and then show something. If it's a longer sentence, then maybe 6 to 8 seconds. But keep the conversation flowing. So, what you shouldn't do during a conversation. This part is really important. So first, you should not share specific information at any cost. Do not tell them your full name. Do not tell them your exact address. And please do not share any social media handles. So, no Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, or TikTok. Please do not share any handles. What you can do is, you can tell them your first name, or let's say the industry you work in, oil industry, gas industry, anything else. Or you can even tell them what the state you live in. This is all generalized information and cannot be put back to you. Secondly, do not discuss anything that is inappropriate in a workplace. So let's say swearing or conspiracy theories or even racial slurs or sexual or violent references. Do not say anything like that. So, the second part is, how do we sign up on the platform? So if you go to sunain.com, sunain.com, this is what it will look like. So all you have to do is go on to the Get Started button, and you will be led to this page. This is you can sign up with Google. If you want to just sign up with Google, and I'm gonna go ahead and put my email in. Continue. So once you sign up with Google, it's gonna ask you your phone number. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my phone number. And so once you have your phone number, you can press send verification code, and it's gonna verify if the number you're telling is actually the number you just put in. All right. Okay. What is the code? That is the code. All right. Perfect. Nice. Okay, so this is welcome page, and this is basically when you're going to be starting your application. So in first part, we are gonna ask you a lot of questions about your background. The second part is going to be about your linguistics. So the language you speak, what kind of proficiency do you have in that language, and etc. In the third part, you're gonna record a sample that for the language you just chose. So your first name, I have my first name already filled. So just click on the boxes and put in your first and last name. Put in your date of birth, already selected. Put in your gender. Put in your ethnicity or your race. And put in your current city, the place you currently live in. Guys, this is really important for us to figure out the language you're speaking is actually the language you should be speaking right now. The type of area you grow up in. So let's say suburban or urban or even rural. What is the native language you speak? So if you click on the button, you're gonna be shown a lot of languages. So please click your mother language. So this is the language that you have been speaking since you grew up in your hometown. This is the language that your mother speaks. So it's called a mother language. So please select your native language. And so now for every language, we already have a pre-selected set of dialects. So you have to choose the set of dialects your language matches to. So in Urdu, there are like 6 dialects, 5 dialects. And the one I speak is Pakistani Standard Urdu. And then you're going to be asked what is your highest level of education. So you're going to be, if you're doing a bachelor's, high school, associate, whatever it is, just select that. Then you're going to be asked to rate your language proficiency. So let's say I have grown up like speaking Urdu. So I'm a 10. So a 10 is basically a native who has been speaking language for a very long time. And a beginner is someone who just learned. So in speaking, I've spoken a lot of Urdu. I've listened a lot of Urdu. I've read a lot of Urdu. And I've written a lot of Urdu. Continue. So how often do you use this language? Do I use it at home and with my home and family? Yes. Do I use it at work or with my school friends? Yes. Do I use it socially with my friends? Yeah. And do I consume media in it? So let's say, do I watch Instagram reels or YouTube content? Yeah. So you just select all of those and press continue. This is where you're going to be shown this video that I'm just recording. So feel free to say hi. And then this is going to be the quiz that you would answer. So these are all the questions that I've already told you about in the previous section of frequently asked questions. So how do you ensure you have a good engagement? That is, you have to actively listen and ask follow-up questions. What do you need to have a high quality audio, a very quiet environment, and a good microphone? What is an example of personally identifiable information? So a full name, an address, or a social security number. This is an example of a personally identifiable information. What is an example of appropriate content? So this is hate speech, explicit content, or personal tags. Continue to audio. So once you're done with the quiz, just press on continue to audio test. So this page is going to lead you to a page where the language you just selected, you're going to be shown a sentence and you have to speak that sentence in the microphone. This is for us to make sure that the language you just selected, you actually speak that language. So just press allow for the microphone. I'm going to go ahead and record again. So this is all your microphones, select the best one, and then please make sure you are in a quiet room with no background noise, your microphone is working properly, and you're speaking clearly and staying within the time frame. The time frame is 10 seconds, remember. So once you click this button, it's gonna start recording whatever you say. So make sure you're speaking the sentence that's written on the screen. Thank you. Once you're done, it's gonna just go back and you're ready to submit the application. Once you click on submitting application, you're gonna be shown this page. We have a human reviewer reviewing applications every single hour. So don't panic, don't worry, you're gonna be accepted very, very soon. If you don't get accepted within 24 to 48 hours, please email us at support Sunain.com. The email is right here, guys. Thank you so much. And you can just press finish and it's gonna go lead you back to the home page. Okay, part 3. So let's say you got accepted into Sunain, right? And once you log in, you're gonna be redirected to this home page. So this is what we call Explore page. So in Explore page, there are a bunch of topics that would be very interesting to you. So pick any topic. Let's say I'm very interested in the rise of third culture individuals. I don't know what that is, but I'm very interested. So let's say I click on the button. So you can actually know more about this topic by click on the arrow, and then it's going to show you all the key vocabulary that you have to use, all the conversation starters, or any subtopics, or everything about the whole program, right? Once you just select any button, you can create a room. So once you press on creating a room, it's gonna create a meeting room for you. So you have to enable audio. Let's say you enable audio in the workspace. Awesome. And then basically all you have to do is go to the right, go to the room details, and then you're gonna be shown a room ID and a room password. So if you click on share link, the link will be copied to your clipboard. So you can just share it with your friends. It's kind of like Zoom. Remember, it's very much like Zoom. So all you have to do is send the link to your friend, and if he has signed up on the platform and he's already approved, he can just join the room right in. So or you can even send him your room ID or your room password, and I'll tell you later where to put in those. So once your friend joins, so you have to choose a subtopic, and one of the subtopics for this topic, the rise of third culture individuals, is hybrid identity across cultures, online and offline. So let's say I chose this subtopic, right? And then you would have some key vocabulary that you can use during your conversation. You can use some of these conversation starters, or even you have some example angles. So these example angles are really helpful when you're navigating through a conversation. And whenever you're ready and your friend's ready, all you have to do is press start recording. And since we don't have any other participant, we cannot start recording. But let's say whenever you're ready, all you have to do is like press start recording, and it would start recording. Please do not forget to press start recording. If you're in a room with your friend discussing every topic, but you forget to start record, you would not be paid. I repeat, you will not be paid if you don't start recording. Please start recording. And once you're done with any topic, all you have to do is just press leave and leave meeting. There you are, back on Explorer page. So this is where I wanted to show you where you can put the room code or room password in. Say press join a room. So you press in the room ID or the room password and press join room. It's gonna lead you right inside a room. And you can do as much of these topics as you want. So pick a topic, talk to your friend. It's that easy. So the next is homepage. Once you have a bunch of meetings happening, you would see all of your meetings in the activity bar in this table. So the rooms you created, the status of like your money. Let's say when were you paid, or is your payment still pending? So the time you started the room, the end time, the earnings you made during your conversation, the duration of your room, the number of conversations you had, and the quality of your content. So this is really important. Please focus on the quality of your conversations. So let's say I pick this conversation. I just click on the room details, and it's going to show me that this duration is going to show me how much I spoke and the earnings I made. So I made $3.25, and the quality. This is really important. So if you have a good microphone and no background noise, the quality will be really high. But if we detect any background noises in the back, your quality score is going to drop low. And as your quality score drops low, your earning rate is going to drop low too. So please be careful of that. The above boxes are going to show you the total earnings you have made across all the conversations you have ever been part of, the total time you have spent on the platform for every call you have ever made, and the average quality of all your calls. This is an average of all these quality bars. So the next tab you're going to discuss is earnings. This is really important. So earnings. Earnings is going to show you three boxes. So this is an earnings box where you have, again, the total number of your earnings across the platform. This will be the amount you have been paid, and this will be the amount you are pending. We usually pay people every 7 days. So this is after every 7 days, the pending amount will be 0, and there will be amount paid. This number would switch into this number. And after that, okay, we use Stripe for payments. Stripe is $100 billion company. This is not something that we have created. Stripe is their own company, which we have partnered with to support this platform. So all you have to do is going to show you, I have connected my Stripe. But when you're new to the platform, you would not have created a Stripe account. So all you have to do is like open the Stripe. This is going to show you connect Stripe, and all you have to do is like press on that button, and it's going to lead you to a Stripe website where they're going to ask you a bunch of questions like your name, your address, and your bank account. Just connect your Stripe, and all of your earnings will be paid through Stripe. And then lastly, the profile tab. So these are all the questions that you answered during your sign up. This is general information, language overview. This is account settings and communication preferences. There's also a support bar. If you click on this, you would be led to an email where you can email us about any issues you're facing. So this is a very easy to use platform. If you have any questions, any concerns, please feel free to reach. Thank you.